Hey everyone. So I want to start off and apologize for totally missing last week. Let's just say life has been lifing a lot, a lot. But hopefully this means that we're back on track. I do apologize. I know I said that as soon as we got to the 50 that I would start using my phone, but with life lifing me a lot, I unfortunately never got around to being able to set up for that, but I'm hoping that over the next few days I'll be able to fix that for next week. But otherwise, sorry, I had something weird come my throat, but welcome, welcome. If you are a returnee, super happy to see you. If you are a newbie, as the title says, live tarot and oracle readings with yours truly. And in case you would like to get a reading, you have directions both in the description and now in the chat. And I'm actually going to pin that real quick so that in case anything happens, directions are right there. But anywho, so for those of you that would just like a quick rundown, in order to get into the queue, you do unfortunately have to pay first. It's a thing. Blame too many delightful individuals. But whether you're using CashApp or Venmo, after you decide if you're doing a 10 minute for 15 or a single card for 5, you're going to send it to smcrigger just smcrigger in CashApp or Venmo. Comment paid with your method, and then we go from there. But just a quick heads up, unfortunately, because I do have mom duties, my daughter has a concert at 7 o'clock tonight. I will only be on until 6:30. So anyone who would like a reading, unfortunately, we are on very finite time tonight. So definitely get your requests in as soon as possible. But until then, we will do our usual, give you guys some updates about some of the back end things going on, couple of collective reads that many of you seem to enjoy based on some of my other videos. But also, while I'm thinking about all the updates, if you are in the Northeast Ohio area this weekend, you definitely want to go to Mansfield Reformatory. Not only is it super awesome because it's where they filmed the Shawshank Redemption movie, if you haven't seen it, jump off my live now and go watch it. It's that great of a movie. But it's where I will be there offering readings and some fun witchy deco at Parapsychon. Parapsychon is an absolutely amazing event. It happens annually, third weekend of May. So if you, for whatever reason, can't make it this year, don't worry. I don't see them stopping anytime soon because this is actually the 7th one and the third time actually that I'll be vending there. So it is a fabulous time both for the readers and vendors and for the people that come. It is, you see everything from super great artists to people walking around in inflatable alien costumes. Okay, it's a great time. I cannot stress that enough. I don't think I saw one miserable person every time I've ever gone, and that's both on the Saturday and Sunday. So, things to think about. But if you are not in the Northeastern Ohio area, no worries at all because I do offer readings online and I do offer one-on-one sessions also online. So I get it. Sometimes, coming to my area is just not feasible, but I am happy to work with you to help make sure that you get to be your best self. I just wish I could also move the events with you. But hey, that's just an extra reason to decide to do what most people would consider insane and come to Ohio on purpose. But enough for the personal updates as far as what's on my current ADD brain. But as far as tonight's offerings for readings, we have our usual handy dandy tarot deck. Everyone loves to see this guy during the daily reads, I'm sure. We also have for the tail end, or if anyone would like a little gentle guidance, we have my Goddess Guidance deck, my beautiful mixed deck that is a mix of Moonology and Shapeshifter. And for those of you that aren't sure, Oracle decks are really excellent for both practical and spiritual advice. So, whichever case you're feeling, if you want something a little more direct, go Oracle. I'm sorry though, it won't give you nearly as many details as my tarot. And last but absolutely not least, this is actually more for in case I throw anyone a little too hard under the bus, whether it be a one-on-one or a collective or a message that comes to me that is for someone that blessedly they at least give me a description so it's not just going willy-nilly. But should I throw someone too far under the bus, I also have my personal deck to throw myself under there with you. Because if you are new, a couple of my readings do get a little rough. They get a little emotional and a little deep. And I refuse to let anyone be stuck in that position alone, let alone in public. I mean, that's harsh. Whew, that was a lot of talking. You know, I actually do my most talking during these lives and my videos. Throughout the entire rest of the day, I actually am a nearly mute individual. So this is actually rather interesting. So if it seems weird that I take a lot of deep breaths, that's because quite literally this is the most anyone ever sees me talk. So, sorry. But that's also why we keep water on hand. Wet the whistle, if you will. But to get us started off, I'm thinking we'll probably do a collective. And to be perfectly honest with you, apparently I don't even get a chance to really think about what I would like to look into for you guys because decided to have one pop out already. So it definitely looks like we've got some Four of Cups going on here. Some choices are just not looking too fabulous for a lot of us, I'm guessing. I don't blame you because, hey, we want to do all the fun things. The weather's getting great. We're getting close to vacations for many of us in the North Hemisphere. So, hey, yeah, that does look a little rough that, you know, you've got choices. You're just not quite sure on which way to go and probably not especially a huge fan either. Because, like I said, you want the fun, but you're also thinking, I still got to work. Or hopefully for many of us, that's actually the most mundane it gets. But for the person that's having a lot more of a deeper issue with your choices, and I'm taking a shot in the dark and saying that this is the kind of person we're looking at here. So the person with a lot of issues with your choices, I'm guessing that you're definitely a kind of pretty awesome go-getter. You're charismatic. You know how to work a crowd. You are super creative, whether that is in a verbal sense or in a artistic sense. I'd say probably somewhere in your 30s, I'm guessing. And if I'm not mistaken, you're a bit of a fun person to be around. People actually want to hang out with you on purpose just because they know that where you're at, it's going to be a great time. But as far as what's going on with your choices, let's see how we can't help you out with that. All right, so we got quite a bit going on here. And I definitely see why you're having issues with your choices. For lack of a better way to describe you, my beautiful Knight of Wands, fabulous person. It definitely looks like you're having a lot of internal and external struggles with communicating people around you. These are a lot of really heavy verbal fights that you're not just having with, I would say, someone rather close to you, thinking someone rather, you'll see why here in a minute, but it definitely a stronger personality, a bit tyrannical, does not like to listen to other people's ideas, typically thinks that they are on it and totally right all the time to a very unhealthy level. But it looks like you're also fighting with yourself a little bit too, because you're probably been wondering for a long time if this person is intentionally screwing you or if they're actually your friend, and where their interests really lie when it comes to how it affects you. So here's what I'm going to tell you to do. I want you to take a moment to rest and recenter yourself, okay? Right now, your brain is too freaking chaotic that there's a reason that you can't think straight. It's because you are bouncing around and you have not had a moment to stop and actually work this subject out in your head, whatever this issue may be. And I'm thinking you're probably a little right in worrying about them screwing you over. And the worst part is that you know it, you just don't know how to prove it. And you know what? Taking a moment, taking a break, and stepping away from the situation just for a little while. Give yourself a chance to recalibrate yourself, do some meditations, do a painting, or even if it's just, you know what, dance the energy out. You go do it. All right? Clear your brain of what's going on with the situation and come back to it, because our next three cards are the exact reason that I'm saying all this, okay? Because right now, your best way to fix this situation, actually have the choices that you, or be able to pick the best choice for yourself, I should say, is you need to break free from the sneaky crap going on that you know is going on, that you know it's time to address with that tyrannical douche that don't listen, that don't take anybody's advice, and if they do, they make it sound like it came from them. You know this person, you know that they're no good. And you know that it's time to, if not expose them, at least remove yourself from anywhere near them. So, my friendly Knight of Wands, time's come to just tell whoever this is to exit stage left. But now that we got that out of the way, let's see if we can't ask a quick question about something that might affect all of us. And just a quick heads up, I will only be live for another roughly 15 minutes. So if you would like a reading night, definitely make sure that you get yourself in the queue. If not, or if you catch this after I'm already gone, my sincerest apologies. You are all too welcome and wholly encouraged to catch me on Facebook or Instagram. Sam C. Sear, all one word. Send me a message there to get yourself set up, or use the schedule link in the bio, and you can just set your entire day and time right there. No issues. But as far as something for all of us, all right, so I am not kidding when I say I have been a tarot reader as far as on a reading in general for 20 years. Professionally, off and on for the last 10. Okay? So bear with me on this one. Why in the devil do I have yet another card that decided to stay out while I'm getting ready to check into a collective? Because this is definitely a more individualized thing for somebody, because someone is blocking their own new chapter. What are you doing? Blocking yourself from a new chapter? Really? Are you really that happy with where you're at? I mean, if you are, excellent, but apparently you've got more stuff to check into. So let's see what kind of a person this is for, and kind of see what they're doing to block themselves, because my goodness. Alrighty. Well, I definitely see why you're blocking yourself from your new chapter, my dear, because it looks like on an emotional, spiritual, and materialistic level, you've got so many issues going on. And I mean that in the best way possible, okay? I am not trying to dog you at all, but you are blocked every which way to Sunday and back, and forgive me, but you don't always use other people's emotions on the most ethical level. I mean, hey, I get it. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, but it's still not cool, man. And it doesn't help that you have zero motivation to actually obtain your material goals. I'm guessing this is probably, I don't want to judge because I've been there myself where you're kind of jumping from job to job because you think that you're the smartest guy in the room when in reality you're not. And even if you do already know what you're doing, it's still a good idea to learn how they do things just a little bit. And it's really not cool to be couch surfing, man. I mean, based on the 2 nights I've got in here, you're probably, if not in your, I want to say mid late 30s, I want to say that you're definitely edging close to the 40s, and the time's coming to say the party's over, man. It really is, because I got a feeling that that new chapter could actually change your entire life for the better. And keep in mind, I'm not saying that this is necessarily a dude, because I've seen a lot of chicks like that too. All right, so yeah, I am definitely seeing a lot of interesting stuff here. And with how that landed, I'm definitely keeping those guys together. We're going to get one more card here. All right. So for our friend who has a few things going on here, I won't go back over it because I feel like I hate you hard enough. But success is still possible for you. A happy ending is still possible for you. This sideways 10 of coins here says that your current material and financial status could change. But the things that you've got to do, you've got to go back and get that education in. Now, whether this is going back to school and learning a trade, or whether this is doing some work on yourself and learning about yourself and tweaking those things. I've got a whole playlist for shadow work. If you want to jump in on it, I recommend. Because unfortunately, that's not the only thing that you've got to do. And I'm feeling more of the shadow work in your case because of these guys here. This card came out with our 8 of coins. Tell me that you got some personal work to do. But this one, when I was trying to get some more information for you, landed directly on top. So you need to reevaluate your friendships. They are no good for you. You need to get some divine perspective on that one, because they're probably a great time. They're probably your best friends for so long. But you need to start looking at them in a different light. You need to start looking at them not as your best friends for so long, but are these the people that are helping you progress and move forward, so that we can go from not especially super awesome to the kind of person everyone wants to be around. Take the blindfold off and really look at these guys as they are. And most particularly, I would say this one. This person is a little on the immature side, and a lot of times they are probably huge fun, but they're loud, they're obnoxious, they're impatient, and more importantly, you've probably noticed that rather often they are running their mouth and not noticing what is coming out of their mouth. Okay? This one is the one holding you back the most. And I understand that this is probably someone very close to you and you've had a long history with. But if you can't talk them into growing with you so that you both can be better people, you're probably better off leaving them as a acquaintance that you still see now and again, if nothing else for the memories. I can't say I fully recommend it because much like bad associations, they're pretty much no different than when an alcoholic is trying to stay dry. They want to still see their buddies that they used to drink with, but it's not necessarily a good idea. People that aren't good friends, I know that we're all adults here, but that's a lesson that even we forget as adults that we try to teach our children. Bad friends are still bad friends. And because I feel like I threw a couple people under the bus on that one, I'll throw myself real quick before we get the meditation card for tonight and I go check out my baby play her flute. So, to throw my good self under the bus, let's see what I have to work on and what I got to do to do better. It's definitely that kind of night. All right. Well, at least this time it's being so far gentle. I need to work better on my King of Swords version of myself. I need to do better about looking at things on an even playing field, making sure that I'm making logical decisions. Definitely not easy, but you know, and I would say probably most importantly, learn how to balance my emotions with my ability to see a situation clearly. Because the King of Swords isn't just the guy that is making the strategic plan, making the excellent choices without emotions clouding the judgment. He knows how to use his emotions with his logic. Whereas I accept the fact that I am a ticking time bomb when it comes to my emotions. All right, so making sure we stay kind of in time. Okay, so apparently I'm not going to have a choice in this one. Apparently, finding my King of Swords self is just going to hit me like a ton of rocks. So hopefully this explains what I've been going through the last few days of small and medium and large size piles of what in the hell? So yeah. But it also looks like there is a possibility that things will get shaky with my family. And that is actually true. Things have been a little shaky at home, but not, do I think, to the degree of it can either go back to being awesome and everyone's great again or crazy broken insanity. But it definitely looks like it's going to be making my family a little on the shaky side as to whether on how we really connect with each other and communicate, be able to celebrate good times. But it looks like at the end of it all, not only will I find my King of Swords self, but my Queen of Cups self. And I want to say that this definitely goes along with how I work with my emotions more than my spirituality because, as I said, I'm a bit of a ticking time bomb when it comes to my emotions. Some days are a little harder than others when it comes to my personal life. So the fact that it looks like I will gain not only a better grasp of my emotions and being able to be better for the people in my personal life, but my logical brain's also going to take a bit of an upgrade too. So while I meant for that to be a bit of a personal roast, celebrate with me. But because I do have only 5 minutes left, definitely going to make sure that okay. So I definitely know how to grab my cards the right way, but got one that stayed out and one that decided to stay face up when I was putting those cards back. So the tower is the first thing I saw, so I'd say with my evolution is going to come a lot of good stuff. So wish me luck on that, guys. Here's hoping I don't trip on my face because, free will does change trajectories. But as far as our meditation card for tonight, before I get too excited, what do we need to focus on tonight to be our best selves? I like it. So we have Lady Arakira, and her message is, you are just getting started. So have patience with yourself, the process, and do not give up. So, because we probably all have either new gardening things going on, or we started a new team for the weekends when we have some free time, whatever new stage you have started for yourself with this spring, be patient, okay? Things are still at the beginning stage. You're probably only 5 squares into the board game. So it's okay if there's a few delays. It's okay if you dropped a ball a little bit somewhere. Be patient with yourself. Because as long as you're giving yourself patience, forgiving yourself for being human, everything will still go. Maybe not as fast as you like, but have patience. Good things come. And as long as you are determined enough to still get it, you will win it. But have an absolutely fabulous night, guys. I hope to see all of you next week. And hopefully I'll have my setup for being able to use my phone instead of my computer. But otherwise, have a great night, and I will see all of you again soon.